Hey Brad, Nancy, I just wanted to send you a quick video, let you know what I learned at the music conference a little bit, and just to say thank you for sending Sarah and I, not just sending me, but sending both of us to be able for me to have some influence on her and what she's teaching, or any in the future any elementary music teacher we have is pretty huge. A lot of the classes were showing studies that show, and I'm sure you probably already know this, but studies that show that once they get past age 11, a lot of things are already pretty concrete in their brain, and not that they can't still learn, obviously, but that those early stages are so important for all their beginning development stuff. So for me to be able to have some sway on what they're learning and get to work with the elementary general music teacher is cool. And we had a really good time and talked about a lot of things, and both learned a lot. Thursday I went to the technology conference, and that was all day, starting at 9 in the morning all the way till 4:30, and things like bring your own device, like what to do when kids have all their own devices in the classroom, making music with multiple technologies, which a lot of that stuff I already do, but it was just kind of neat to see what other people are doing and their take on it. Then on Friday's the main day, really, where you have most of your classes. And I don't have a list in front of me of what I went to, but pretty much every hour there was a different thing, except for lunch. And I went to some of the things I went to a lot of vocal warm-ups and vocal techniques to try to help out with what I do with the choir. And I went to a lot of stuff with for percussion to help out and assist what I do with the drummers. There's a lot of questions that band directors have. Why do my drummers do X, Y, Z, and why can't I get them to stop? And there's just a lot of people with really neat perspectives, some really cool stuff that I saw. The middle school teacher in Traverse City is an amazing teacher, and especially with the drums, and the way she ran her percussion rehearsals were really awesome. I went to a class on reading rhythms, and which was huge for me, because I've always wondered why when I'm teaching kids how to read rhythms, and I teach them to count the rhythms, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. They get to high school and they still can't count, and the majority of them, and the percussion, the ones that I've worked the hardest with, are the worst counters I have. And so I went to this one, and this guy has done all sorts of research, made it his life study on reading rhythms and teaching kids. And he said that the part of your brain that reads rhythms is the part of your brain that moves, and it's the part of your brain that releases dopamine. It's in the limbic system. And so that's why we like rhythms, because when we hear those, it's connected to how we feel. So we teach it like math, and it's just not connected to that part of the brain at all. Not that you can't make those connections later on, but to teach it that way is a disconnect, he said. And so he did some things with us that really made sense. And I've already started doing it with the kids, and the kids are like, oh, this makes so much more sense. And so that's been pretty cool. That's huge for me. I mean, that alone makes the whole thing worth it. But there was all sorts of stuff I went to, but that was probably one of the main ones. Found all sorts of fun apps and games and stuff to help reinforce all that stuff. And I went to a blended learning blended learning in the music classroom, and talking about lining curriculum standards and some better ways to record their growth, and different music standards that we need to be meeting, and the vagueness of how that looks in our nation and in our state, and all sorts of interesting conversation around that. But had a great time, and I just want to let you know what I learned and say thanks. Bye.